Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of the African Father in America podcast. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a nice weekend. My name is Simon Javan Okello. I am in Seattle, Washington, and I have a nice proverb. Every day for this podcast, we gather and we share new African proverbs, and we also share lessons that we can learn from these proverbs. We share, lessons that are really from long time ago, long before we were born. Our ancestors used to share this proverb. So we have another one. Today's proverb is from Equatorial Guinea. I'm going to share it in a moment. We have a live audience on Clubhouse as well that is going to be participating on today's show. So if you're on YouTube, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate your presence. And I also welcome everyone who is joining us on Clubhouse. I thank you so much. And I want you to ping in 3 to 5 people from your own community during these early moments as we are just setting up our session here. We are just about to begin our session here. So, ping in your friends, share the link to this room. I'm also doing exactly the same thing before we dive deep into our proverb from Equatorial Guinea. I want to welcome Lavender. I want to welcome Carl, who is also here with us for today's beautiful conversation. Remember, we are taking a virtual journey to Equatorial Guinea, and our proverb from Equatorial Guinea says that a bird which flaps its wings too much will drop its feathers. The bird which flaps its wings too much will drop its feathers. Think about this proverb and let me know what it means to you. You can join me on the stage on Clubhouse. You can comment on YouTube. And I will be able to also share with everybody else what your perspectives are in regards to today's proverb. I have 3 nuggets of wisdom that I am going to share with you today. 3 nuggets of wisdom that I'm going to share with you that are also going to enlighten you in regards to this proverb. The 3 nuggets are going to just give you a little more inspiration, but also some words of wisdom that you can take away with you, that you can also, share with somebody else, in order for us to continue, broadening the community of people that appreciate African proverbs. So the proverb today says, the bird which flaps its wings too much will drop its feathers. And this proverb is from Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea is in West Africa. It's on the west coast of Africa, similar to Nigeria, Ghana, and Equatorial Guinea particularly is home to a variety of different cultures and languages, including Spanish and French and Portuguese languages. It's the only country that was colonized by the Spanish, So, I know quite a few people from Equatorial Guinea, including an artist that performed at the recent Madaraka festival that I produced here in Seattle, Washington. So, what is this proverb trying to tell us today? I think this proverb is trying to tell us 3 different things, and these are just the 3 initial things to get us started before we also hear your own perspectives. Number 1, what this proverb is trying to tell us is that don't overdo it. You lose what makes you special. Even if you are a great orator and you are always speaking, you are traveling to different speaking engagements, you are, always there, you will overwhelm yourself, and the value of whatever you are speaking about will be lost. Even if you are a great YouTuber, you can't YouTube and create content every hour. You have to create time to think. Even if you're a great teacher, you can't teach every hour. You need some time to think about what you're going to teach before you begin teaching. So that's the first idea that we get from this proverb. The second idea is that flap your wings enough and you'll stay strong and fly high. This is about finding a balance. Once you know that you're a great educator, then you need to know when you need to be teaching and when you need to be learning. Once you know that you're a great runner, you need to know when you need to rest and when you need to run, because they're all important. And then finally, balance is key. Too much of anything isn't good. You have to find a balance. This proverb is reminding us that finding a balance is as important as discovering, your own potential, discovering what you're able to do. It's really, really important for us to note this as we begin our conversation today. I want to welcome you all. I want to thank you for joining us for today's conversation. I want to welcome Andrea. I want to welcome Brother Earth, Musa, Eliza. Thank you very much for taking your time to join us for today's conversation here in the African Father in America Club. We are also live streaming on YouTube in the African Father in America YouTube channel. The link is at the top of the clubhouse room. And we are here to discuss another African proverb. We go deeper into these African proverbs. We dissect them, break them apart, and then we come up with 3 different lessons that we can learn from these proverbs. Outside of that, we also invite you to lend us your voice, lend us your wisdom, and share with us what you think this proverb means to you. So the proverb from today, the proverb we are discussing today, is coming all the way from Equatorial Guinea, and it says that the bird which flaps its wings too much will drop its feathers. I see that we've been joined by quite a few friends here on YouTube. Thank you so much. I want to know exactly where in the world you're joining us from. So leave a comment here on YouTube, and also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This past weekend I was able to add some other content from my recent travels in Kenya. I'm going to be adding more content. I did a lot of video, like vlogging, when I was in Kenya last, and I've just been so busy that I've not had a chance to really share some of this content. So I'm teaching myself how to edit video, and I've worked with so many video editors, and I've produced quite a few documentaries, but I've never actually pushed myself to learn how to edit myself. So it's one of the things I'm learning, and I'm pushing out content that I'm editing. So if you want to learn about some of my trips in Africa, it would be great for you to check out my YouTube channel. And also I interview people about these proverbs. I go to the villages, I go to the communities where some of these proverbs come from, and I talk to some of our elders and people that use these proverbs much more than us who live in the diaspora. So check out my YouTube channel. And now I want to just take this minute to thank you, Lavender, for your continued support. And then brother, thank you also for your continued support. I want to invite, first I want to invite Lavender to just say hello and share with us what comes to your mind when you hear this proverb that says, the bird which flaps its wings too much will drop its feathers. What is it that comes to your mind when you hear this, Lavender?
Hi, Simon. Hi, everyone. Simon, thank you for um, the opportunity to speak and for always holding it down with this platform and room. Um, when I read this proverb, the bird which flaps its wings too much will drop its feathers. Um, I liked some of the gems Simon shared about taking time to relearn whatever you're good at. You take time to review and think, to re-strategize and to better your craft. Um, Also, when you look at information sharing, when we talk too much, we tend to get ourselves in trouble by oversharing, um, which I think um, when we hold our cards closer to our hearts, we are bound to make better decisions and looking at listening more and being slower to respond. This is Lavender, and I'm complete.
Thank you, Lavender. I appreciate you being here, and I deeply appreciate your contribution today as well. I want to welcome our guests, Farida and Laron and Nate and Andrea. Feel free to join us on the stage where Lavender and Brother Arthur with me at the moment. And also thank you to our audience members on YouTube. Our channel is actually growing. We are past 3,000. I think we are 3,300 followers at the moment. So 300 subscribers. So I deeply appreciate you all for the support over there. And I want to hear what Brother Arth has to say. Brother Arth, how was your weekend, by the way? And where are you joining us from? And what does this proverb from Equatorial Guinea mean to you?
Peace and love, families, brother Earth. Coming from the North Carolina territory, and I had a beautiful weekend, Simon. It was always, as always, it was too short. Now, that's what I like to tell everybody. Monday your favorite day of the week. Now it's back to the back to work, shall I say? But when I see the proverb, what it makes me think of, and you touched it well when you was giving the three nuggets. The first thing it says, don't burn yourself out. You know what I mean? The bird flapping his wings too much is causing them to lose feathers opposed to gain something. And another way I could look at that, or two ways I could look at that, is it's an old saying, jack of all trades, master of none. And basically, you flapping your wings uh, so much, you in so many different directions. You don't really put your focus and energy where it should go in order for you to master something. So you just be a jack, and it also is like stretching yourself too thin. You have too much going on that you can't attend to everything. And I would say this also. I'm just parked my plane right there. Peace and love, family. This brother Art.
Peace and love to you, Brother Arth. I love what you said, and in regards to, we should pay attention to how we can easily burn ourselves out through doing what we love. Through doing what we love, we can easily burn ourselves out. And also, when we think about this proverb, the bird which flaps its wings too much will drop its feathers. This proverb reminds us that similar to the bird, there are certain things that we can't avoid to do. For example, flapping our wings, it's the only way that the bird can move from one place to another. It's the only way that the bird can travel, But we are also being told that if the bird does that too much, it's going to lose its feathers. And without the feathers, can you imagine the bird flying and flapping its wings without the feathers? It can't fly, It can't fly. And so even though the feathers come and go, and in fact the bird needs to lose some of its feathers in order for it to thrive, because in the course of the lifespan of a bird, it has lost most of its feathers, but there is a way that if it flaps its wings in a manner that is appropriate, it does not just lose its feathers because of overdoing it, So I appreciate you, Brother Earth, for your contribution, and I just want to thank you all for taking your time to join us for today's session. My goal has always been to have short and sweet sessions of the African Father in America podcast. My goal has always been to have 30-minute sessions. And so traditionally, when the Daily African Proverbs session started here on Clubhouse in January 2021, we were doing a 30-minute session because I had to get my kids ready for school, and this session was right before the day began. I was literally doing this session at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 7:30. So a lot of people were preparing to get ready for school. A lot of parents were attending the Daily African Proverbs. And then I had to begin doing it earlier at 6 a.m. in order for me to do it for 1 hour, So we did it for 1 hour for almost a little past a year, And so if you look at most of our episodes, I think today we are at episode 170, if not 171. No, 270, if not 271. And, you find that majority are 1 hour, 45 minutes, but the sweet spot for podcasting is 30 minutes. That's the sweet spot. And that's what my goal has always been with this session, especially because we are recording it for the African Father in America podcast. I just love doing it for only 30 minutes. So my goal this week is to just do 30-minute sessions and see what they look like, and see what they feel like. I want to take this opportunity to welcome Sophia, and I also see, that we've been joined here by Duna AHD. Thank you for joining us. But also Stella is on the stage. Stella is part of my team. Lavenda is also part of my team at One Vibe. We work together. We are in Kenya and also in Seattle, Washington, where we, on the nonprofit side with One Vibe Africa, we run our education, music and art program where we provide, music classes. We have a rehearsal room in Kenya, and we've been providing a lot of arts programming since 2013. We also teach film production, photography, in Kenya. And in Seattle, we produce a lot of cultural events, from Madaraka Festival to Kijiji Night at Seattle Art Museum, to a series of African dinners that we've been doing since 2016. We just love being in the community. And so if some of the things that we do interest you, from podcasting that we do through One Vibe Media, so One Vibe Africa is our non-profit side. But then One Vibe Media is our for-profit side where we don't only create our own podcast, but we help other people with the same. We help people with email marketing. We help people with social media management. And so reach out in case you need help. We primarily support non-profit organizations, in Kenya and in the Pacific Northwest. And we work with the Port of Seattle, from big to small organizations. One Vibe Africa has been a consistent partner. So right now, though, we are in the African Father in America club on Clubhouse, and also we are live on YouTube. We are discussing a proverb all the way from Equatorial Guinea. And this proverb says that the bird which flaps its wings too much will drop its feathers. So we are learning what this proverb means to everyone who is listening and watching, especially everyone who can lend us their voice. But also we are learning through 3 nuggets that I shared earlier. We are learning what this proverb could have meant for our ancestors who created it and shared it with us, for us to be able to engage in this way today, and also to be able to record and preserve it for our kids to also enjoy it and learn from it. So without further ado, I want to invite Stella. How are you, Stella? Where are you joining us from? And also, what does this proverb from Equatorial Guinea mean to you?
Thank you, Simon. Hello, everyone. This is Stella from Kenya. And today's proverb, just like the headline in Clubhouse says, don't lose what makes you special. That's what it means to me. And again, I would like to add that don't break your back. Like, for example, if you had a piece of shamba and you go to the shamba in the morning and you're trying to finish the whole of it in one day, I think that will drain all your energy. And you might end up breaking your back and you can't go back again tomorrow to continue. So I think it's encouraging us to do it in moderation and achieve the best results possible. Otherwise, thank you.
Thank you so much, Stella. I agree. Do it in moderation. Do everything in moderation, because you can't finish it all in a day. And I also want to add to that and say that know yourself. Know yourself in terms of what you can handle physically, emotionally, mentally at any given time, and also know your age, because age also dictates how much you can do. Sometimes you can, for example, myself, when I was younger, I could play 3 soccer games in a day and still be able to go and fetch water 5 kilometers away and bring it back home. I felt like I was unconquerable. But these days, the things that I can do are not as much as I used to. If I play 1 soccer game, I don't want to do anything else physical for the rest of the day. And then there's something else that I learned recently, that the worst thing that you can ever do is to be dishonest to yourself. And this proverb also reminds us about that. If you're not honest to yourself, then you're going to lose. You're going to lose. So I just want to check if there's anyone else on the stage who has any closing remarks. Okay, I see that Brother Earth is good, and Stella and Lavender is good. And this means that we are going to go towards wrapping up our session today in a minute. I just thank you all once again. Okay, see, Lavender, go ahead.
Hi, Simon. Thanks again. You asked about closing remarks. So recently, I had lunch with a friend of ours, and she reminded me to take care of me, take care of myself. And today's proverb, I'd like to just say, take care of you amongst everything you're doing. Remember yourself. You're the engine, you're the driver, you're the director, the producer of your story. Don't forget yourself in your own story. Thank you so much, Simon.
Thank you very much, Lavender. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, in this era also of social media and era of, for me personally, being self-employed and also having a team that depends on my well-being. If I don't do well and I can't meet certain obligations, I will disappoint quite a few people. It's really important that I think about that I think about taking care of myself is actually taking care of other people, including my own children, my own community. And I'm also realizing that I'm actually a community leader. For a long time, even yesterday, I still think to myself that I'm just Simon Javan Okelo. And what I realize is that I have so much value, that I don't even know, and I only learn it from other people. For example, there's a Jay who attends this session quite consistently, was visiting a farm in Bellevue, which is not too far from where I live, here in Seattle. And the person that manages the farm, she was surprised that person knew me, and she was also surprised that I contributed to the creation of that farm, and I forgot about that. When that farm was being established like 7-9 years ago, I was one of the first people that were being consulted, and I shared my ideas, and then I stepped away, and that farm is now something that serves the community. And when a friend of mine visited that place, she was surprised that, oh, these people know Simon very well. And so she sent me a picture at the farm with the farm manager, who is an elder from Zambia, who moved to Seattle long before I did. And she was just surprised. She was like, everybody knows you. And in my mind, I was like, actually, I don't know. Until now, I feel like I don't know, but I'm beginning to recognize that, how I treat myself is very, very important to a lot of things that I contribute to, and a lot of things that I contributed to that I don't even know. I want to live long enough to hear such stories, to interact with, people that I impacted their lives, and to interact with projects that my ideas contributed to their creation. And I don't want to be a bird that flaps its wings too much and drops all my feathers. I want to find ways and community and people that allow me to preserve how much I flap my wings. So with that, I want to thank you for being here with us for today's session. And I urge you to join us again the rest of this week. 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is our time. And you will find us here on YouTube, and you will also find us on Clubhouse. So have a nice rest of your day. Take good care of yourselves, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace and love. Thanks a lot.
African father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.